Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about something that's got South Africa buzzing. President Cyril Ramaphosa recently found himself in the hot seat in the National Assembly, facing a round of sharp questions about his meeting with none other than billionaire tech mogul Elon Musk. And who was leading the charge? None other than leader Julius Malema, who never misses an opportunity to shake things up.
Mr. President, I don't know wittingly or unwittingly, when you were answering the question about our relationship with the USA, not once have you mentioned DERCO or Minister of International Relations. And this is as a result of you having met Elon Musk during the UN General Assembly and knowing very well the views of Elon Musk about South Africa, racist, white supremacist views about South Africa, which led to you meeting him because you thought you were going to clarify those issues. Unrepentant racists became emboldened and then made more bad remarks about South Africa even after meeting you physically. You still saw a need to go outside the diplomatic channels and made a contact with an individual, not using diplomatic relations or mechanism within which we resolve diplomatic disputes as South Africa. Don't you think you individually have emboldened white people to undermine us, and you have single-handedly destroyed the diplomatic relations of South Africa with other countries, and you have destroyed and juniorized the Department of International Relations? Mr. President. And le swantse le tsebe gore nto ya o bolela le ditsotsi tja o tshwana le bo Elon Musk go re taletša ka bana ba makgowa. And worse, Elon Musk, you organized a meeting with him or that telephone conversation through his immoral father, politically, economically, and otherwise. A man who has engaged in business in South Africa through illegal means, even when he has admitted to do so. Those are the type of characters you can't speak to. Imagine, Mr. President, had they said Donald Trump called the Guptas during that time. What were you going to say? You are going to say that Guptas are an independent state actor. You are not going to say that. You are going to feel undermined. And that's exactly what you have done. What are you saying about established practices of resolving issues in a diplomatic way and diplomatic channels in South Africa? Do you have a full confidence in the Minister of DERCO and the department itself? You speak about an ambassador in Washington or New York. That ambassador belongs to the Department of International Relations. Instead of talking about international relations, leadership, and the department, you talk about ambassador. But when you talk about DRC, you talk about Minister of Defense is doing 1, 2, 3. You don't say ambassador in DRC is doing 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much.
Very simple and straightforward answer to that. Yes, I have spoken to Mr. Elon Musk. Yes, the Minister of International Relations has either been in occasions when I have met with Mr. Elon Musk. If you want to know, we together with Minister of Trade and Industry and Minister of International Relations and Cooperation met with Mr. Elon Musk when I went to the United Nations General Assembly last year. He came to my hotel room and we had a discussion. And the discussion revolved around his would-be investments. So did I speak to him? Yes, recently the answer is yes. And this we do because we continue to engage with a variety of people through diplomatic channels, as well as we engage with them through various constituencies in countries that we have relations with. And as I've indicated through this conversation that I had, we were able to have a discussion on what was a mischaracterization of what was being said about our country. And he being a person who is quite, I would say, influential, whether one likes it or not. As we interact with various people, business, academic, research, or otherwise, we do interact with people who we believe are able to discuss issues with some people in very official categories. So we do talk to non-state actors as well as state actors. And we will continue to engage with people both inside and outside of South Africa to promote our country and to promote the interests of our country. There's just nothing sinister about the various discussions that we hold with a variety of people. Even on an ongoing basis, when people make contact with us, yes, we talk to them, but we always make sure that our foreign policy positions are advanced and they are not undermined or diluted.
Now, when you hear Ramaphosa meets Elon Musk, your mind probably jumps straight to space rockets, Tesla cars, and maybe even a cheeky thought that South Africa's power crisis might finally get sorted with a little help from Musk's solar panels. But no, the conversation in Parliament was far from a sci-fi movie. It was all politics, business, and, of course, a bit of drama. So what exactly happened in that National Assembly session? What did Malema accuse Ramaphosa of, and how did the president respond? Well, buckle up because we're about to break it all down in a way that's engaging, informative, and with just the right amount of humor to keep things interesting. Let's start with the basics. Why did Ramaphosa even meet with Musk in the first place? Now, Elon Musk, for those who don't know, is originally from South Africa. Yes, before he was launching rockets and reinventing the car industry, he was just a boy from Pretoria. And as one of the world's richest men, he's always a topic of interest, whether it's his controversial tweets, his AI warnings, or his ever-growing list of billion-dollar companies. Ramaphosa's meeting with Musk was reportedly about investment opportunities in South Africa. Given Musk's deep pockets and influence, this sounds like a good thing, right? Well, not everyone saw it that way. Enter Julius Malema. If there's one thing Malema loves, it's holding leaders accountable, especially when he smells something that doesn't sit right with him. In this case, Malema questioned why Ramaphosa was meeting with Musk in what seemed like a secretive, unpublicized manner. He wanted to know, was this meeting truly about South Africa's interests, or was there something else going on behind closed doors? Now, here's where things get interesting. Ramaphosa, cool and composed as always, responded to Malema's concerns with what some might call a masterclass in political maneuvering. He acknowledged the meeting but insisted that it was purely about economic growth and potential partnerships that could benefit South Africa in the long run. In other words, no secret deals, no hidden agendas, just good old-fashioned business talks. But Malema wasn't buying it. He pressed further, asking why Musk, who has been openly critical of South Africa's policies, especially regarding government regulations, was being entertained by the president. Malema pointed out that Musk has, on several occasions, taken jabs at South Africa's handling of its economy, energy crisis, and even governance. So, why the sudden friendliness? Ramaphosa's response: he played it smooth. He highlighted how important it is for South Africa to engage with all potential investors, regardless of their personal opinions. He reminded the assembly that Musk's ventures, like Starlink, could be game changers for South Africa's connectivity issues. Imagine stable internet in rural areas, faster communication, and less dependency on failing infrastructure. That sounds like a win, doesn't it? But let's be honest, politics is never that simple. The moment you bring a billionaire into the conversation, suspicions arise. Critics outside the National Assembly have raised concerns about whether Musk's influence could lead to foreign interests dictating South Africa's policies. After all, we've seen this happen before. Big business often comes with big expectations. On the flip side, supporters argue that South Africa desperately needs economic boosts and that someone like Musk could bring in much-needed investment. The country has been struggling with unemployment, energy shortages, and a weakening economy. If Musk, with all his innovation and wealth, can help turn things around, then why not explore that possibility? And let's not forget, This is a man who builds electric cars, launches rockets, and wants to colonize Mars. Maybe fixing South Africa's economic challenges is just another problem on his to-do list. Now, while Malema raised valid concerns, there's also the reality that South Africa must stay open to global business. The world is changing fast, and if we want to keep up, we can't afford to push away potential allies, especially those who have both the resources and the interest in engaging with us. But, and it's a big but, transparency is key. If Ramaphosa is serious about making deals that benefit the people of South Africa, he has to ensure that these discussions are out in the open. The last thing we need is backdoor deals that favor the elite while the everyday South African sees no benefit. So, where do we go from here? Will Ramaphosa continue to push for Musk's involvement in South Africa's economy? Will Malema and the F keep the pressure on, demanding more accountability? And perhaps most importantly, will any of these discussions actually lead to tangible benefits for the people? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this conversation isn't over. Whether you're a fan of Musk, a supporter of Malema's skepticism, or just someone who wants to see South Africa thrive, this debate is one to watch. So, what do you think? Was Ramaphosa right to meet with Musk? Should South Africa embrace global billionaires for investment, or should we be more cautious about who we allow into our economic circles? Let's discuss in the comments.